Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another video. Today I want to break down the Stranger Things trailer that we got a little over a week ago. I was busy, so I couldn't get to it until now, and just videos backlogged, and I'm kind of trying to catch up. But Stranger Things season 5, it's the last one, so everything's just super exciting, super just anxiety ridden, and just it's something we're all very much looking forward to, but at the same time we're very much just not looking forward to it too, because it is the last one. It has been this thing that has spanned almost a decade. Even though it's only been 5 seasons, there's just been such long breaks in between seasons because everything that goes into making this show, and it's become this phenomenon. And I only got into it the last few years, but I've just come to really love the show for just the characters themselves, the nostalgia of it all, being kind of a an 80s kid, but I was more so a 90s kid. And a lot of those things that's the cartoons, the shows, the style, everything about this show is very reminiscent of my childhood, and it's just something I've really come to enjoy. And I actually just came back from a trip from Georgia, and I took the time to visit Jackson. I will post some pictures and everything kind of on the side here as a little slideshow or whatever. But the town was awesome. I didn't realize though that everything was more so, as far as anything outside the square, is filmed more closer to Atlanta, which is a good 30-40 minutes away from Jackson. And that's kind of the thing with a lot of shows, but also a lot of shows will film things kind of in the same vicinity of a lot of different scenes and whatnot. But this one, just getting to visit the town, seeing the murals and things that they have up, which I did grab pictures of, seeing the alley where the big fight scene took place between Jonathan and Steve, and just everything that embodies Stranger Things within that town. It was very cool to see and everything, see it in person, and just be on the same streets and everything, much like with all the other shows that are filmed in Georgia, which I did visit those towns as well. But so I wanted to break down this trailer and just talk about what's coming up for this last season, and some of our mystery characters, and some of our just big stakes kind of thing that's going on with this last season, and what it could all mean, who we could possibly lose, and things like that. So it is a big deal with this last season. Very much people are just dying to see it. It's been in the making for several years now because of just different things gotten in the way and everything. But anyways, let's jump into break down this trailer and just talk about it for a minute. So we got our opening scene here with Steve. He's cranking this wheel. He's inside the van, which turns out to be the WSQK van out there in front of the WSQK radio station, which will be kind of a home base for our main characters, I'm pretty sure, this season, because it was a big focal point of filming when it was happening. There was a lot of filming going on out there. We had a lot of leaked videos and everything from the time that they were filming out there. And of course, it's been since torn down. It was just kind of a temporary set. But so it's very exciting to see where they're going to go with it, because we got this next scene with the kids riding away from it, and then we got this next scene where we see everyone's kind of gathered in there. They're waiting for something to happen. We hear this countdown in the background where they're talking about the burn, and I kind of think that's having to do with the fact they have to pretty regularly burn, like maybe an entry point or something to the Upside Down, considering everything that happened with last season with the Upside Down spilling into Hawkins and splitting downtown and just causing all these problems. So I imagine Hawkins is quite the war zone, honestly, just judging from behind the scenes things that we've seen, leaked footage and whatnot. So I guess this next season is going to be something to remember for sure. I just, with the possibility of characters dying, with just the stakes that are this show and this season and everything, it's just going to be something to definitely sit down and watch. With, thankfully, even though it's being split up into 3 different parts, they're being released very close together, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So I'm very thankful for that. They're not going to draw it out and make us wait, several months in between. So we're getting this last season at the end of the year, just here in a few months, which is crazy to think that we're already almost done with 2025. And it's got the next scene with Joyce here, also monitoring this countdown, or just something that's going on within the radio station. Like I mentioned, the radio station is going to be a big part of this season, I think. Then we got Maya Hawk and our Nancy here, just all monitoring this countdown or something. And then we got Will here. Will here, I think, is going to be a big factor for this season because every other season has kind of focused on Mike and Eleven and some of our other characters and whatnot. This one, with him kind of being in the front of everything, with him and his connection to the Upside Down and to Vecna, I think he's going to play a big role with this season because we got that tease within our teaser with him at the end of it screaming run, and just it was a very powerful and dramatic scene just for the few seconds that it was. And so it's got people really looking forward to this next season. But moving on to the next one, we got Caleb here, of course, also kind of in sequence with this countdown that they've got going on. So they're watching something happening, and just judging from the tone of the scene and everything, it really feels like it's something that happens on a regular basis, something that maybe the whole town is kind of a part of, that they have to be maybe sheltered in place while it happens. Because we do have this next scene where it looks like people are in a bomb shelter of sorts, or an underground shelter, something that's, we have several kids in, and this is a safe place. I don't know if this is part of the school or just something that has been built separate, or with the large military presence within Hawkins, this is something that, like I mentioned, the whole town kind of comes together, and this is something they kind of sit through together. Then we got Hopper here. Hopper has gone full mountain man, and with the things that I believe that we've seen in teasers and releases from the Duffer Brothers during production and everything, Hopper is going to be, I think, a part of a group or something where they take it upon themselves to hunt down creatures or anything that have come out of the Upside Down, just with the full, he's got automatic, or, fully automatic weapons. He's got grenades. He's got a whole arsenal that may be at his disposal from the military. So there's a lot of things that have just gone crazy with this next season. Hopper has come so far from where we saw him in that first season, just being this local town cop, to basically a hardened survivor and everything. So he's just a soldier at this point, and it's really cool to see this evolution of this character. Because we got another scene here with Will. Will has always had this tingling feeling or whatever on the back of his neck anytime he knows Vecna is near, or something with the Upside Down. It's just he's so connected to it, considering what happened to him in the first season. And so we're really wondering, what does all that mean, considering everything that he went through in that first season? Is he still a part of the Upside Down somehow or another? And just with the Upside Down date being still stuck on the date that he went missing, that's always been a big clue with people about where the rest of the season's going, or just how much he's connected to it. Then we got the kids riding down street. Then we have military helicopters flying overhead. And like I mentioned, I imagine Hawkins is quite locked down. You had so many people vacate and run away from Hawkins after what happened with the earthquake and all things like that, with just the epicenter of downtown just being almost destroyed, or more or less destroyed. And so we had a lot of people probably up and leave, and just the only people that may have stayed are people that have close ties to what's going on, or just there's something where we're not sure if Hawkins went on kind of business as usual, where schools continued, jobs continued, or everything kind of shut down. The town went into a quarantine of sorts. So we don't know that yet, because we got this part here, and this is part of the big thing here, where this looks to be maybe a main rip, if you will, into the Upside Down, where they have to flame it out on a regular basis because of maybe things that try to come out, or just something where they try to keep it dormant from spilling out and causing too many problems. Then we get this scene with Dustin at Eddie's grave. This is going to be, I think, a big thing with this season, because there's still been a lot of rumors and just speculation that Eddie could pop up in some form or another within this last season. And with him still grieving the loss of his friend, and probably visiting the grave on a regular basis, and probably cleaning graffiti off of it, everything that we can see from this picture and everything. And then we also get a scene, I think that's probably minutes after this or whatever, it's part of that, probably part of that same scene, where Dustin is visibly beat up. So he's probably dealing with this on a regular basis, where people are confronting him about his friendship, and how can he mourn this guy that they believe anyways was the part of what happened and everything, with people disappearing, people ending up dead and whatnot. And they just are probably punishing Dustin quite frequently, and he's just still soldiering through and just wanting to grieve his friend and everything. So I really think that we could possibly see Eddie again. I hope we do, anyways. I hope he pops up. Somehow he survived what happened to him in the Upside Down, or just something where it kept him alive, or something like that. Here's just another angle from that scene where we see Dustin at his grave. Then there's another big thing, left over from the last season where we have Max still in the hospital and she's being looked over all the time and just hoping that she wakes up. And because we get more scenes, of course, within this trailer, because this trailer actually revealed a lot, which was very nice. But we see that he's still watching over her and everything. And this is that burn I was talking about. I'm pretty sure this is part of that tear that we saw the soldiers patrolling earlier in the teaser, where they have to do this probably every day or every other day or something, where they have to keep this kind of contained or keep it under control. But here we see the lab, and it's clearly in the Upside Down, because we got our group here going into the Upside Down, or they could make possible frequent trips into the Upside Down to kind of help the military, help the town survive and whatnot. Or this could be part of the final showdown, because there's some big shit coming in, and I can't wait to see it, because we got our boys here rallying together, ready to take this fight and end it. And I imagine we have people here that are willing and ready to die for this, because it means that it keeps other people alive and whatnot. So this last season is just going to be something to, you're going to have to really soak it in and probably watch it multiple times, honestly. Then we got Mike and Eleven. Their relationship, I think, has been kind of fractured, or at least it's been under strain and whatnot. So, because there was a lot of speculation with things that we've seen from leaks, of course, where we thought maybe they were breaking up or just something was going on, where the relationship just wasn't able to survive everything that had been going on, or just Mike probably constantly worried about Eleven and everything. So there's a lot, I think, going on with this last season. Just there's so much at stake. And we got Eleven here kind of suiting up, more or less, putting this bandana over. So she's probably going to kind of a contaminated area. Then we got Linda Hamilton. We still don't know anything really about her character. They've been very hush-hush about it for some reason, but we can see from the teaser that she is kind of in the military, or she's part of something that maybe is part of the lab too, where we saw kind of a military-esque force with the lab too. But I'm really excited to see what part she plays, and just, what's with the secrecy surrounding her character, because they've not said much. Literally nothing, almost, honestly. She's even been pretty quiet with this character. Then we got Hopper and Eleven here. Hopper, of course, suited up, mountain man, ready to go. And this is them in maybe not even Upside Down. This could be an edge of town, or a result of the Upside Down spilling into Hawkins. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where we got Dustin and he's visibly been beat up. And I know that from the things that we got from the Duffer Brothers when they were in production, that we are going to see probably some of the preppier types from the school and everything with their Letterman jackets and whatnot probably confront Dustin, more than likely at the cemetery and everything, with Eddie's grave. We got Max here, and Lucas, because I finally remembered his name, is taking cover from Demodogs and probably the endless freaking creatures that are coming out of the rips coming into Hawkins and whatnot, because I don't think this person here on the left is anybody. It's probably just what appears to be a candy striper, which is just like a hospital volunteer, a hospital nurse, or whatever. And he is probably with her throughout most of the season, just keeping watch on her and everything. And hopefully at some point she regains consciousness, or just what's going on there, because she was pretty torn apart in the last season. So I just can't imagine the time it's taking her to even remotely heal. And then we got 11 here, of course, with Hopper, and she's going through something. She's got blood coming down her nose, just when she overexerts herself with her abilities. This is just kind of a consequence of that. And we got military here firing into something. We did see this in the trailer, though, where it looks like they're firing into a building that a couple of our characters are in, and they're kind of taking cover in, or just something's going on there. And then we got Joyce here with an axe, where we did see this in the teaser, where we have a Demogorgon bust through the barn door, where we have Karen and Holly here taking cover in what looks to be a bathtub. So there's something that's in the house, maybe, or just not sure what's going on there. Then we got Nancy here washing her hands of blood, and just it seems like a really emotional scene. So it makes you think, who died here? What happened in this scene that she is having this reaction to? This could be just a run-of-the-mill person of the town that she tried to save and it didn't work out. But honestly, this is probably a scene where we could lose somebody, or they get very injured or just something happens for her to have this reaction. We got 11 and Hopper here once again, and just this is probably middle towards the end of the season, or just who knows. This could be a run of the mill kind of everyday thing for them, where they go out and they face whatever's out there, because who knows what kind of shape Hawkins is actually in. We got 11 here. This is her doing her thing in the tub of water and whatnot, where she kind of suspends herself and she goes into the upside down or the in between or whatever it is. Hopper here with his hand grenades, and just we can see bullet holes in the back. So I think this is where the military was firing into. Then there's the result of that. This looks like Will, I'm pretty sure it is, being just covered with things from the upside down. So like I mentioned, I think Will is going to play a bigger part than he ever really has. And we got Murray here with Robin, and I'm interested to see just all of it. I mean, with all of our characters, the trauma that they've more than likely endured, and just what's going on there. Nancy and 11. And with this is what interested me, because this looks like it's in the junkyard where the kids would hang out and everything. I wonder if 11 is going to reach new limits of her abilities, where it looks like in this scene, she's using her telekinesis to actually lift herself up off the ground and just hit new potential with her abilities. So I'm really excited to see just what more they do with it. Will we see anybody else with abilities? That we're not sure of, because, the whole sister thing back in, what was it, season 2 or 3, where we were introduced to her and then she was just gone. So I don't know if they're going to tackle that at all or anything. And we got Joyce here again. And Will or Mike with where we saw this in the teaser, where he's with a bunch of younger kids. And so I imagine as they've gotten older, they've kind of taken on the role of protectors, just also being very familiar with what the hell's going on. And this is a big thing with the end of the trailer, where we see Vecna is like, he's different. He's like upgraded. Something is different about him, where he's probably grown stronger or something like that. And so this next season, last season, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be just absolute chaos, I think. There's the possibility that no one is safe. And so I'm really excited to see what they do with it, how it ends, and just what happens as far as, just all of it. I mean, it's been such a long journey with this show, and we've seen these kids grow up before our eyes, and it's just going to be nuts. So I'm really ready for it, and just ready to jump into this and just see how it all ends, see what the final battle looks like. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, you enjoyed my breakdown, you're stuck with it, please be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing, come back for more content just like this, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.